Hey everybody, Jenna here. I talked the last couple of days about my experience when I got on a dating app. I received an unsolicited picture of male genitalia, and I wanted to figure out why. For many years, I worked as a therapist and I did a lot of work with anger management, which entailed effective communication, healthy relationships, and what it really means to compromise. So, I was really curious. So I'm going to be do a lot of research on this. And it's so funny when you ask women the question about whether they want the photos, like I did yesterday in my video, or men as to why they might, there's conflicting information. So I figure, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Let's talk about this. So I found this article on Psychology Today, and it's fairly recent from July 2023, and I wanted to go through it. I'm trying to very much understand why I was singled out, or if everybody's singled out, and why people are so quick on social media to just share and overshare. So, according to this article, it said there are psychological and social reasons that men send unsolicited pictures of their genitalia. Sometimes those reasons might include insecurity, acts of aggression, sources of arousal, misplaced humor, and just plain old ignorance. Receiving these photos can be triggering for those who've experienced past trauma, and I can relate to that. Let me see if I get this to scroll down. Okay. Not an uncommon experience, which made me feel a little bit better. I'm not the only one getting these. A lot of my friends that I've talked to have also gotten them. Someone opens a message and they find a picture of the sender's genitalia, known as a pic. There are many reactions that can arise. These unsolicited pictures are often not harmless. They can be intrusive and triggering, especially for those who have experienced trauma. So, if you've been in a toxic relationship and you have been brutalized in some way, or if you've been targeted in some way, you can imagine how this might be alarming. Sometimes I know when I get a picture like that, I don't have a dialogue, I just hit block. I have just started to set up dating profiles to kind of test my theories. And I even put in my bio, if you send a dick pic, I'm going to block you. And yet people don't really read those bios anyway. They pull up your photo, they blatantly send a message to every single male or female that happens to pop up in their feed, I'm finding. And then if there is a dialogue, they might eventually go back and look at the bio. But if the second message in, like in my experience, they didn't even have time to read my bio. It was, hey. I responded, hey. And then I got the picture. Immediately, I blocked them. So it's interesting how people are so quick to send those things out and why they think that that's okay and why they think that's going to somehow be alluring. So in this article, it says some men see it as a form of flirtation. Well, it doesn't look very flirtatious to me. I guess the days of a wink across the crowded room are over. Some men believe that dick pics have become a form of conversation. I know if I met somebody on the street or in a bar or in the grocery store and they whipped it out, that would be illegal. It's considered flashing. So I don't know why it's so okay on a dating app. Along with these lines of communication, according to this article, a dick pic can be an invitation for sexual intimacy. So there are some sites that are complete hookup sites. I can name a few, but I don't need to. People who are on them are already aware. Exhibitionism. So exhibitionists derive from, let me repeat that. Exhibitionists derive arousal from exposing themselves to others. That seems creepy. Just the thought of exposing themselves to another could be a strong desire. Well, maybe for them, but it sure isn't for the receiver. Along with finding arousal and exposure, some men claim that they do it for the reason of having pride in their endowment, wanting to share it with others. Well, I know when you get a picture, first of all, I don't know if it's even the person's, it could be cropped and saved from the internet. I don't know if that's what it really looks like. And a lot of times you can't tell how big it is. You just get a picture of this thing, not with no point of reference. So if they're really wanting to show off and they have such great pride, I would think that they'd rather do that in person. Now, insecurity can also play a part in sending a dick pic. It's an attempt to get approval, made easier if they don't show their face. I'd much rather show their face and look them in the eyeballs and see that, but maybe I'm unusual. Such partial anonymity can reduce the fear of rejection. I don't know what they're expecting, but I know when I block them, that's a rejection. Online trolls may also do it as a part of their attempt to upset others, whether it's attention seeking, misdirected anger, self displeasure, a false sense of self importance, or gaining excitement from bringing misery to others. Trolls will use all their tools at their disposal to create a toxic environment. Now, that's a little bit scary that they would do that with the intention of hurting others. So it is an act of aggression. This certainly is the case in gender based harassment. In this instance, the dick pic stands along with revenge porn and gendered hate speech. So it is illegal to share pictures of yourself or someone else with without consent. So if I was in a relationship and between two consenting parties, somebody took illicit pictures to be shared only amongst us. If after the relationship ends, or even while the relationship's still at play, if I said those are not to be shared and they do, that's a felony and it's considered revenge porn. So I don't know why this would be any different. That's just my opinion, and you guys can disagree with me if you want. I'm open for a good debate. So are creating an imprint that everybody can find on the internet, and that is just not fair to the other party. It's humiliating, it's degrading, and it shouldn't be done. So that's my little speech about that. So back to the article by Psychology Today. Okay. They have the idea that if you show me mine, or let me read that again. They have the idea if I show you mine, you will share yours with me. So I've had that happen to me too. I've gotten a dick pic, and then the next message is there you go, your turn. That does not make me want to take my clothes off and send them a photo. I don't have a face. I don't have a name. I don't know them. I don't know what they're going to do with those photos. They could do exactly like the example that I gave you and share them with the world. And that's just not okay. And I don't know why that would be alluring, and maybe other people do it, and maybe I'm just completely off base here. Maybe that's how society is today, that people just want to interact that way. I know if I met somebody in person and we had a date planned, I wouldn't walk into the room naked. So why is social media any different? I guess people are a little bit braver, maybe. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, and that's going to be part of my research that I continue to do, and I will share what I find. Okay. So for some men, it's a thrill of risk taking behavior that they find in sending a dick pic to an unsuspecting person. There are many reasons, biological, psychological, and social, that one engages in risk taking behavior, a topic for future that we might want to talk about. And sending dick pics plays into all of them. It can be an expression of interest and desire, but that makes us feel objectified. And I know I don't want to be objectified. I am a human being. I'm a full person with a brain, a mind, a heart. And I know that a lot of men sometimes want that trophy, that one-time experience, but just because we're women does not mean we're available. It doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of different facets to us. So sending us a dick pic makes us feel like all you want is the body, and that's just not okay. I have a future discussion that I want to talk about, and I'm going to say it's called I Am a Cupcake, and there's a reason for that. So I hope you'll pay attention, subscribe, like, and watch my future posts. Okay. Some men find it humorous. They believe it's funny. They're severely misreading the room. How can you read a room when you're not even in it? You're on a camera, you're on an iPhone, you are on a Samsung, you're not misreading the room. There is no room. So humor can be undermine a woman's experience of the dick pic, and it can be perceived as harmful, and it trivializes the experience while normalizing men's intrusive behavior. It's a manifestation of the environment in which they were socialized. This plays into sexual double standards. If a man was socialized to see this as acceptable behavior, something that men do, they're more likely to engage in this behavior. So if they're talking to a bunch of their buddies and they're saying, yeah, this is how I do it, they're more likely to follow that lead. Okay, it can act as a reward for some men for expressing their sexuality in a human, I, I don't even know, a masculine environment. I'll have to look that word up, and I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'm going to lean right by it. And sometimes it's just plain ignorance. This works two ways. First, it's a misunderstanding of reactions of women and what arouses them. Men think if we get a picture of a penis, we're going to, oh my gosh, be so ready to go. We're going to get in our car, we're going to drive on over there, and we're going to do whatever they want. It has the reverse effect. I don't know why they have that perception, and maybe it does work that way for some women. I know I did some research, and some women actually kind of like it. Some women do find it, if they're in the right mood, alluring, but most of them said only if it's consensual. We're talking right now about those unsolicited ones where we just get them without asking, and it's shocking and surprising. There's two very different variations. If you're in a relationship and it's consensual, and you're engaging in sexting or you're just sharing photos, that's one thing, as long as it's consensual and it's agreed upon by both parties that those photos are going to be private, not to be shared. Sometimes these things are sacred, they're private, they should not be talked about and shared unless it's mutually agreed upon. Okay. So even if a woman enjoys dick pics and collects them, this does not mean she wants to receive them in an unsolicited manner, like I just said. This becomes a consent issue. Second, they do not understand the harm that their actions can cause. As previously noted, this behavior can trigger those who have suffered past trauma, or it can elicit new trauma. It's sexual harassment, and this can create a hostile environment online and off. I know if I get a bunch of those, I have spent a couple of days on some dating sites, or even sometimes I get random instant messages from people I don't know. I get jaded. I become very, very negative, and a lot of times I log off and I don't give other people a chance because of my experiences from the one or two that do this sort of thing. So you can ruin the whole experience, and you can shut down what really is and can be a very good way to actually meet people. In this day and age, and especially if you're like me and I live in a small community, the dating pool is very, very small. Not that I have a particular type. I kind of do, but I'm more open to having a dialogue and conversation, and I'm more attracted to people who can do that. Intellectual conversation, be able to share your past experiences in a healthy way, be open and honest and transparent, not by sending these illicit photos. So I'm talking about what I think, and everybody else may disagree. So please feel free. I don't think you are limited to what you can comment, but I would love it if you would like and share my page, because I would love to hear your feedback. I'm here to learn. I'm new to this. I will change my mind if there's a logical reason for me to do so. I'm just sharing my experiences and hoping to see if somebody else can relate. Okay. Finally, I've been doing work that involves in the analysis of female celebrity fan mail. Okay, this kind of veers off the topic a little bit. Okay, this correspondence in this article says it's been provided to the writer, not so uncommonly includes dick pics. This is most common the case when the celebrity has appeared nude in a film. It's no longer the case of if I show you mine, you will show me yours. It says it's pretty much, you've already showed me yours, I'll show you mine. That doesn't really apply to this case because I'm not a celebrity. You might be, maybe it does pertain to you, but I know it does not for me. Okay. So, because society is the way it is and Rome wasn't built in a day, people don't change their behaviors, especially unless they do a lot of work within themselves and understand the pros and the cons and the reasons why you make those decisions. So, this article states dick pics are not going to stop anytime soon. So, what should you do if you're the unfortunate receiver of those? Well, that's up to you. You can let the individual know that the picture is unwanted. I put it in my bio. I don't feel like I have to explain myself. I just do the traditional block. Okay. If you let them know the picture is unwanted, tell them how you feel before reporting them if they're truly doing something wrong. I think on most dating platforms or social media, you can report them as inappropriate. I don't know. I haven't gone that far. So if there is a way, please let me know. You can ignore them and block the person, which is what I do. This behavior needs to be immediately reported, especially if it takes place in the workplace or if it's somebody that you know. If you feel violated and it's somebody local and you feel like you're in danger, please do report that. The more people that you can let know, the right people that you can let know, the safer you will be. Keep the proof if you feel unsafe. So if you do have to file the report or if you have to put yourself in a place where you have to get a no contact order or a protection order, save that proof, share it with who needs to know, but not everyone. Keep some things private. If the behavior is triggering for you, see someone about it. Therapists are there to help. Best friends are there to help. Your family's there to help. You don't have to keep that inside, because if you do, the more you repress this information, the more it's going to bother you. You may not realize it right now, but sooner or later it's going to have to come out. Getting it out into the universe with the right people, the safe people, will always help you feel liberated from it. Okay? And your well being is essential. And remember, you're a random person that they found on a dating site. It's about them, it's not about you. At first, when I got the message a couple of days ago, I looked at myself in the mirror, not because I'm looking to see what my face looks like, if there's something wrong with me. I was looking to see if I could identify the reason that somebody would target me. I don't try not to send the message that I like those things, but what I'm finding through my research is it's them. They probably sent the same photo, the same message to 100 different people, maybe 500 different people, maybe 1,000 different people, and maybe one out of the number that they've sent actually enjoys it. Sooner or later, they'll probably find one. But there's more of us, I'm finding, that don't like these photos, that don't feel like we need to be violated. I would never meet somebody off of a dating site that does that because they have so little respect for me that I'm not going to waste my time or theirs. I'm going to continue to do some research because I really don't know what the rules are. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm shocked and surprised. I found some YouTube videos that I think are interesting. Depending on the age of the person that made the video, the gender, maybe their social environment, sometimes it's kind of funny what people think. Not all of us are out here being gold diggers. We want a white horse with a knight that saves us. Sometimes we just want companionship and somebody that's like us, has shared experiences and common values and rules. So I hope you'll follow. Please do hit the like and subscribe button because I'm trying to build a following. I don't want to be on OnlyFans. I'm going to keep my clothes on no matter what anybody says. I've asked a lot of advice of my friends and family about what I should talk about. And because of my work experience and because I have a lot of experience with coaching and I'm try to be positive and uplifting and always try to find the bright light in things. And because I'm a researcher, this is what people have suggested to me. If you have any ideas or anything that you want to know about, please let me know and I'll be glad to put something together and share. Thanks everybody and have a great day.